Hi, I'm Pauline Harrison from the Fintech Times, and we are here at PAY360 with Jayne Sibley. Jayne, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Fantastic. And how are you finding the conference so far?
It's exciting. We've never been before, but it's lots of people, noisy, lots going on. It's great.
Fantastic. So I know we've got some very big news to talk about, but just before we do, why don't you give yourself a little bit of an introduction to who you are and what you do?
Sure. So I'm Jayne Sibley. I'm the co-founder of Sibstar, which is a new debit card app for people living with dementia.
Fantastic stuff. And obviously you launched today,
Yes.
Literally this morning. How has that been for you?
It's really exciting. I was just saying to somebody earlier that it's a great day for the business, so great professionally, but personally it's quite a moment because this whole idea started with my own story. So it's a great day. Good to be at this point.
I'd love to hear more about your story. What about your sort of own personal experience of caring with patients with dementia, and how did that lead to today in the formation of Sibstar?
Yeah. I was caring for mum and dad, both of whom have dementia, and it was through looking after mum really in particular where the idea for Sibstar came from. So as mum's condition progressed, she started to really mismanage her money. It meant that she couldn't really understand the value of money, or she was taking out lots of money at the cash point and giving it away to people on the street, or overspending on food or cleaning products that she didn't need, treating everyone to their nails in the nail bar. So all of that money that she and dad had worked hard for all their lives was just disappearing really. We tried lots of different solutions, but nothing really worked. And that's where we came up with the idea for Sibstar, which was a way for people living with dementia to remain financially independent whilst knowing their money is safe.
Fantastic. And I guess how does it work? How can you talk us how someone would use the service?
Yeah. So once you've onboarded to Sibstar, the person living with dementia will have a debit card, and then you load that card with any amount of money, your choice, and then there's an app that sits on your son, your daughter, your husband, your auntie's phone, and it's within that app where you can set how and where that money can be used. So you can set things like monthly spending limits, daily spending limits, how much money can be taken out of the cash point. And you can also decide to switch on or off cash points, phone line and online transactions, and importantly, actually one of the features that our customers really like is notifications. So every time the card is used, their daughter, say, gets a notification to their phone to say, the Sibstar card's just been used in Boots for £2.30. And it's just a really nice way of people sort of keeping an eye on the person that they're caring for and love without being really over-controlling and overbearing, which is really important.
It's like keeping the freedom while still having that risk looking after sort of thing.
Exactly.
So could you explain to us sort of some of the other barriers that people with dementia might face when it comes to financial services, and how does Sibstar help overcome them?
Yeah, so one of the things about dementia is that everyone with dementia has completely different needs. And one of the things we've done to address that is our onboarding process. So you can have a Sibstar card for yourself, by yourself. So the person with dementia, if they understand their finances, which they may well do, can have the card for themselves and the app themselves and do it all by themselves. Or if you have dementia and you'd like a bit of extra support, you can have the card and the app, and then your daughter could have the app as well, so you can do it together. And then thirdly, if you no longer understand your finances, then you can just have the card and your daughter or son could do everything on the app. So being able to build an onboarding sort of process that addresses all of those different needs is quite important and something that's quite new. The other thing that we found is that people with dementia don't tend to have, or often don't have, an in-date passport or driving licence, and this can be a block to other financial products. And then obviously so we built a way of addressing that. We can accept non-standard documents in our in-app, which is really helpful to people. And then obviously all of the management and control functionality allows you to remain independent as well, which isn't necessarily available at sort of from the traditional banking services.
Fantastic. And of course, you launched this morning, but how has Sibstar been received in the dementia community?
Yeah. It's been received really well. So our customers are happy, and they say exactly what we set out to do. This gives me peace of mind. I worry less about money. It enables my gran to have more independence. I can sort of see what she's doing without pointing the finger. So yeah, they're really supportive, and they're really liking what we're doing. So hoping to get more of them.
Fantastic. And how has Mastercard's involvement helped shape Sibstar and the journey that you're on?
Yeah. Mastercard's involvement has been critical to where we are today, really. You know, when we met with Darren and the team, and they were so enthusiastic about what we were doing, it was hugely motivating. And actually, that sort of sounds like a small point, but it isn't, because when you're sort of this lone ranger trying to launch a product in a sector that you've got no experience of, having people like Mastercard, the Alzheimer's Society, come along and say, we think this idea is really good, Jayne and Marty, we're gonna back you, we're gonna go for this, you know, we're here to help and support you. It's incredibly encouraging. It's opened up doors. Being associated with the Mastercard brand is incredibly important, because we're an unknown brand and we are reliant on the sort of trust and credibility of the Mastercard brand to help us sort of launch and amplify our own brand.
Amazing. And what's next? What's the next milestone that you've got on the calendar?
Well, so many things. Get more customers, build our team, raise more money. We get inquiries almost every week are we available in the US? So you never know, you might see us in the US someday.
Very
we're ambitious.
exciting.
We want to get it out there and help more people.
All very exciting times, basically. And then finally, I'd just love to ask you, what advice would you give to any other innovators, you know, like yourself at the beginning, who are looking to develop technological solutions that, you know, are all about providing this greater accessibility and inclusion to the finance world? Do you have any sort of wise words?
Yes, do it. It's needed, it's wanted. If you've got a good idea and you have this unshakable belief in your idea, then go for it. It's hard work, but it's incredibly rewarding when you have customers call you and say, you know, this has really helped me. You know, that's why we did it. So go for it.
Well, congratulations again on the launch this morning, and thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.